I'm going to come on to all fours and check in with the spine, see how it's feeling today in the cat-cow, starting off with a small range of movement until you begin to mobilise. Inhale in the cow, exhale in the cat. First thing to move is the hips, the pelvis, forwards and backwards, last thing the neck. Making sure you incorporate in the shoulders. Knees almost together, child's pose, arms extended, big stretch with the back and the arms out, and you can circle off those wrists. Back to all fours, big circle with the knee. Making sure you're distributing your weight evenly over the left and the right side. Big stretch, getting warmth into the pelvis. Can you connect to your abs here? Change direction. Take your time. Total of around 12. We're going to extend that leg and the opposite arm. We're going to pulse up. 2, 3. Deep breaths. Looking for another 12. And then you've either got the option to release or hold in 2, 1, and hold. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Good. Child's pose. Let's go a little bit wider with the knees to get in the hip joint. Exhale, coming down, forehead to mat. Can move left and right with the head if that feels good. We can circle off them wrists. Back into the box position for the other side. Big circles. Notice how this side's feeling. DOM's deep in the pelvis. It's quite a weird one. It's more like stiffness and tight rather than muscle. It's because of such spindly little muscles that are attached in the hip joint. And change direction. Distribute your weight over the left and the right side. Another 3, 2, 1. Extend that leg and pulse for 12 or as many as you can. Shoulders pushed down away from ears. 5 left, and you've got the option to hold for 10. 3, 2, 1, and hold. 10, 9. Deep breaths. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Child's pose, nice and wide. Carpet bow. Circle off the wrists. Back to the box position. This time we're going to start incorporating the glutes. Donkey kicks, heels leading to the sky, squeezing that bum cheek that you're bringing the leg up with. As hard as you can. Pause for a squeeze. Make sure you're clenching that bum cheek. As many as you can, or 12. And this is forcing a cat-cow movement in the pelvis. But make sure you've got your core engaged in the lower. Have a poke around, make sure. So your lower back's protected with that movement. Deep breaths. Another 3, 2, one more. Good, and from here, I'm going to crunch in opposite arm to opposite leg. Coming up and over, I want you to touch your toes and round. If you can't touch your toes, just come round as far as what you're able to. Make sure you're getting that knee up. Take your time until you get into the momentum of it all. Love this one for balancing the pelvis, stabilizing the spine, stretching in this movement, this plane. And it's good for proprioception, knowing where your arms and legs are in space, so reduces the risk of falling. As many as you can, or another 2. 1. Hopefully you're burning. Let's rest in child's pose, nice and wide. Good. When you're ready, over to the other side to finish the set. Donkey kicks, 12 to 15, and you might feel a burn on the leg that's holding you up, which is perfectly normal. Squeezing that bum cheek as hard as you can. Over exaggerate the squeeze. Another 5. 2. 1. Let's see how we get on at the other side with these flares. So take your time, connect to the core, touching your toes or as far round as you can. Opens up the chest nice, so this one as well. As many as you can, or 8 to 10. The higher you get that leg up, the easier it will be. Exhale as you're coming round. 3 more. 2, hopefully your bum's on fire as well. 1 more. Good. Wide knee. Child's pose, good. Circle off the wrist. You feel free to grab a drink. Start incorporating the core. Moving on to our sides next. With a bend in the knee. So we're going to work some of the glute as well as the sides of the core and the shoulder girdle. We're going to raise our hips. For clamshells, hip dips, we're just holding the hip position. So I want you to come in alignment, so pushing your bum forward, and you're keeping a curve in the side of your core. You've got the tension, so it's a core exercise as well. This is working the glutes, the piriformis, the back, stabilizing you. As many as you can, or 15. Bring your knee away from your body as much as you can. 3, 2, 1. Rest, or you can extend the leg for 10 taps. Exhale, coming down, deep breaths. Hopefully you start to feel it on your glute on the bottom side as well. Knee faced forward. 3, 2, 1. Final rest, or jump in for 10 hip dips. Crunching at the top. 8, 2 more, then you've got the option to rest or hold with me for 10, 9, 8, 7, deep breath, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, release, good. Bottom knee comes forward, let's get a deep stretch in the sides of the stomach to stop any tightness around the pelvis. Inhale, Exhale, shoulders down away from ears. Arm ideally over your head. You can bring your hand onto the front of your tibia, shin for purchase. Deep breaths every exhale, just relaxing further in. Excellent. Moving over to the other side now. Make sure your elbows directly under your shoulder. Starting with the clamshells, as many as you can, or 15. So you're going a little bit higher than hip height to engage that side of the stomach now. 5, 4, 2. Rest or extend the leg for an additional 10. Up to you, even if you want to do a couple. Couple more. You can rest, or once you've finished your rep, we can go into them side plank dips for an additional 10. Isolating the core more. A lot of volume on one side here. 5. Again, you've got the option when you finish your reps to release and rest, or you can hold with me. One more. Hold 10. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And release. Good. Bottom knee comes forward. Top knee back. Inhale, arms rise. One more big deep breath. Excellent. Feel free to grab a drink as we move over to semi-supine position. For some more glute work and pelvis stabilizing and strengthening. Glute bridges next. So we're going to come up so the hips are in alignment and level with the thighs. Squeezing the bum cheeks. Just poke your bum cheeks, make sure there's tension there. Where is the one side that feels more tense than the other? So we're not hyperextending, so hips should just be only as high as you can feel it in your bum cheeks. Maybe your lower back starts to gain warmth as well, that's normal. The weight should be in the heels. If you're cramping up in the hamstrings, the back of the legs, that's normal, but it shows a weakness or a deficiency in an electrolyte maybe. Could be a few things. But try moving your foot placement, move further away from your hips or come closer. Have a play around. For another few seconds, hold. And now let's bring in the reps. 20 reps. I mean, all the way up and all the way down. Make sure you're touching the floor with your bum cheeks as well. You can hold on to the sides of the mat if that's comfortable. Looking at getting around 20. So it's the strongest muscle in the body, but it also stabilizes the pelvis and the back. It's the foundation of the building, so it needs a lot of volume for training to take effect. Another 10. 7. Can you feel your core engaged? Switch it on. And you've got the option to release it in another 5 reps, or you can hold it with me. I can bring in some shoulder work. 2, 1, and hold. Arms come up for some forward shrugs. Notice any clicks in the shoulder at all. We're just mobilizing forwards and backwards. Another 5, 4, 2, 1, and release. Good. Hug and roll. side to side, massaging the sides of the back, keeping your tailbone on the floor. I'm going to do all that once more. I'm going to start with a hold for 10 seconds, squeezing the bum cheeks, keeping the tension in the bum cheeks only. You'll feel warmth in the hamstrings below and the lower back. Deep breaths, just to burn. Just try and ignore it as much as you can. Let's begin the reps. We're looking for 20, but if you only manage 15, that's fine. Just note for next time that was what you got, and you just want to try and improve and get an extra 1 or 2. That's how we make sure it's progressive and you're going forward and you're building more muscle and strength. Deep breaths, inhale and exhale. Keeping the spine nice and long as you do this. Another 10. 1 second up, 2 seconds down. The slower you come down, the harder it's going to be because muscles under tension for longer. 5, 4, 3, 2, shaky, shaky. 1, release or hold with me for an additional 10. We'll bring them arms up for those forward shrugs. Go for 10 altogether. Another 5. Squeezing the bum cheeks. Shoulders off the floor, shoulders on the floor. 1 more. Good, well done. Release, hug and roll. It's always not so bad until you release it. You get that burn. Okay, nice and warm now in the lower body. We're going to go into singles next, so feel free to do what we just did, or if you want to progress it and make it harder, we're going to isolate 1 bum cheek by bringing the leg straight up or a bend, but your hips must stay level. You're keeping the tension in that 1 bum cheek as you're coming up, all the way up and all the way down. So these are difficult. So looking for as many as you can. 6 is a good number. I'm going to go for 10, another 5 with me, and we can hold for 5 seconds. 3, or you can release. 2, you're the boss. 1, I'm only here to guide you. Hold 5, 4, squeeze it. 3, 2, 1, and release. Let's go over to the other side. Same again, you've got to keep it the same. 10. Notice any tightness around your hips here. 5. Another 5. 3. 2. 1 more. And hold 5. 4. Deep breaths. 3, 2, 1. And release. Good. Hug and roll side to side. I'm going to stretch using a back bend here, so feel free to skip this if you're not sure on how your body will respond. But you're coming up into the bridge position, and you want to walk your feet closer to your shoulders and tuck your shoulders underneath, bringing your hips higher now than your thighs. And if you're able to, join your hands together and lace your fingers with one another. Really opens up the chest, pushes it forwards and shoulders back. Really good for posture. And you'll feel a little bit of a burn in your lower to mid section of your back now. Good for the hip flexors as well if you're tight on the front of the thighs and around the knees. Deep breaths. Another 1 more deep breath. Excellent. Release. Let's counter pause that. Knees in for a hug and roll side to side. Well done. I'm going to bring in some ab work next, so water break if you need one. Okay. We're going to start by a single leg stretch. I think it'll be a nice one to stretch the glute after all of that work on the glute. So if you suffer with your neck, like if you've got weak muscles in your neck, feel free just to rest your head and swap over like that. You're still working your core. Or you can lead with your chest, but your neck's being worked as well in a good way. But always lead with your chest, not your neck. For single leg stretch, we're going for 20 to 25. Or if you can only do 10 right now, today, that's absolutely fine. Exhale, coming down. Sorry, exhale, coming up. And inhale, coming down. Feet about an inch off the floor. Starting to feel a bit of fatigue in the neck. That's normal. You're strengthening that. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Inhale, arms rise. For 2 relaxation breaths, get the oxygen in. Pause at the top. Slowly exhale through the mouth. Again, inhale big. Fill them lungs. Slowly exhale. Good. One knee comes up into tabletop. I want you to fully imprint your spine on the floor first. So put your hand underneath that lower back and you want to push your back against the floor, your hand. Okay, so no curves in the lower back. One leg comes up straight, one's bent. The straight one, you're going to do scissors with, whilst the other one stays like that. Coming up, crunching. Of course, you can keep your neck on the floor if need be. Going for 10. Keeping the tension in the core as that leg's coming down. Keeping your back flat. Another 5. 3. 1 more. Excellent. Again, deep breath in. Full lungs, pause before releasing, exhale. 1 more. Excellent, so over to the other side now. When you're ready, 10 on the other side. Keeping that back flat so it's nice and protected. Another 3. Good, 2 deep breaths. Good. One leg bent upright and the other one straight. I'm going to come around to medium-sized circles, so not too big, not too small, because I want you to feel the tension in your abs as you do this. 15 circles, complete circles. Have a poke around, make sure you're using your abs to stabilize, because one of the big rules of the core is to be able to bring your arms and legs away from it and you're not to wobble off, or it's keeping you stable. A deep breath. Another 4, 3, 2. Let it burn in the core. 1 more. Change direction. It's like a plank. Just make sure you're keeping that tension, the full core, even the lower core. Burny, burny. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Excellent. Oh, inhale. Over to the other side. Flatten your back. Let's begin. 15 on this side. So I feel a lot tighter here. How does this side compare? 5, 4, 3. Change direction. Nice and safe, this one. As long as you're breathing, so you're not increasing your blood pressure. 5, 4, 3, 2. Good, and release. Well done. Inhale. Good. Both knees up into tabletop. Hands under the head to support the neck. Coming in for a crunch and down. Make sure you're not pulling on the neck. Your neck's leading it. Your arms are just supporting you. Exhale, coming up. If you can get them hips off the floor as well a little bit, even better. You want to have more tension in that lower core. As many as you can, or 10. Another 5. Squeeze as hard as you can at the top. Let it burn. Last 2. Burn, burn, burn. It's working if it's burning. Well done. Oh, felt that right in the center there. Inhale. Straight leg pulses next. So legs are out as straight as you can. If you need to do that and bring in a little pulse, that's absolutely fine. Or forwards and backwards whilst your lower back curve is pressed flat against the mat. As many as you can, or 10. We're fatigued now. Another 5, 4, 3. Might burn at the top of the thighs. That's your hip flexors. That's normal. One more. Well done. Inhale, arms rise. Good. One leg up into tabletop, the other one straight. You're going to come up and use that leg to come upright. And then you're going to come down with a curve in the back. So curving up, like that, and curve down. Don't come all the way up if you're feeling anything in your back, just come to here and down again. Curving up. Straight and as bent as your other legs can go. As many as you can, or 6. You're training the core to look after the back here with your curving. One more. Excellent. Inhale. Opposite side now. Let's see how we get on. Use your up, curve up. Slowly curving down one vertebrae at a time. Looking for 6. These are tough. Don't worry if you can't get all the way up, even if it's just something, shoulders off the floor. Fatigue setting for me. Another 2. 1. Notice where you're shaking, that's a good sign. Good, good, good. Inhale. One more exercise and then we can relax. One more. Good. This one, when I saw it yesterday, it looked a right burner, so it's good to finish with this. So arms and legs straight up, and then face them slightly down at a 45-degree angle, and then circle. So a flat back, keeping the tension in the core, not moving anything else other than your full limbs. 10, 9, 8, 6, 4, 3, 2. Good, release. Inhale. Time to relax. Good. Now shift our hips over to the right, our knees over to the left for spinal twist. So make sure your hips are as stacked as they can be. Your shoulder blades should be on the floor first before you progress it. Now let's just settle into that position, see how it feels today. Every inhale, make sure you push in over exaggerating. Just push out of the belly on the inhale. And then on the next exhale, sink further into the stretch and let go a little bit more tension. So you might not even feel like you're tensed up right now, but really deep muscles in the back and the core and around the pelvis are tight, and that's where you're carrying your stress, your tension. So every inhale, push your belly out. And the next exhale, sink further, let go of your hips, sink them into the mat. Sometimes it can take a couple of minutes to just let go of the tension that you're carrying. If you feel that you're at a place that you can progress, extend that top leg and you can hold on to the backs of your thighs. Make sure your shoulder blades are on the floor. Can your foot touch the other side of the floor? That's what you're aiming for. Now I know some people who start off the stretch that they're unable to, but then a minute later, because they're using the breath and relaxing the central nervous system, they're able to touch the floor with the foot on the opposite side. A deep breath in, push the belly out, and slowly exhale. Relax the shoulders. Allow yourself to feel the stretch. On the next inhale, careful, I'm going to bend the knees again. Take your time as we move over to the opposite side. Shifting your hips over to the left and knees over to the right. And we'll just settle in to this side first before progressing. Hips stacked on top of each other, knees stacked and ankles stacked as much as you can. Shoulders need to be flat on the floor. Use your breath, inhale, push the belly out, and use your ribs as well on the inhale. Feel them rise, and on the exhale, sink in further. You might feel this stretch in the glutes as well, because we've just worked them, so they'll be a bit tight. If you feel like you're able to, you can extend this leg. And can this side touch the floor, the foot? Is your shoulder blade still on the floor and the opposite arm? Keep looking through your body to find tension and switch it off. Where are you feeling this side of the body, the tightness? Is it easier or harder? On the next inhale, rolling onto the same side, so it's easier for you to get up into the seated position. Just take your time and be a bit stiff, swapping over. I'm going to go into the pigeon pose next for tight and worked glutes. So first of all, the leg needs to be out. You need to be in the center of your mat. So however much of a bend in the knee that means, so be it, because the next part you're progressing is into the right angle. But this is the most important part. You're faced forward and you're feeling a stretch in the glute you're sitting on. And if you're able to increase the stretch without being pulled out of center, feel free by bringing that front foot up a little bit more. You can just hold this position. You'll feel this stretch in your maybe your lower abs if you're tight there, and hip flexors, shoulders down away from ear. Let's bring that oxygen in. Have it exhale, sink your hips further into the mat. So I'm tense here, so I've just noticed that with that deep breath. So I'm just going to relax and switch that front thigh off. Deep breath. If you feel that you're able to progress it further, you can come in onto the elbows. I just want you to sit with that mild discomfort, that stretch. Again, my thigh switched back on there, so I've just switched it off actively. Just sink in. Allow yourself to feel the stretch. Might feel it in the hamstrings, right under the glute. It can be quite uncomfortable. Deep breaths. You're telling your body it's safe. Take your time. We're going to swap over to the other side now. So make sure your hips are square, faced forward. Sit with it. How does this side feel? Maybe feel it more on the back leg. I certainly do on this side. Actually get the benefit from the hip flexor at the top of the back thigh there. Deep breaths. Sink. If you want to come onto your elbows, feel free. Relaxing your shoulders. Allow your hips to sink in. Last one we're going to do for the hips, because we've warmed them up, so they're a good position right now to work on mobility and flexibility. A bit like the child's pose, going to go as wide as what feels comfortable, but this time our feet are going to come out to the side in frog's pose. So as long as your knees feel okay with this, you can just go into child's pose if you're feeling your knees, but you're just going to push your hips back as much as what feels comfortable. You can start bring your arms here and just hold, but you're getting right deep in there, that hip joint. So deep breaths. And if you're able to come onto your elbows to progress, that's great. If not, just stay there and sit with it and notice where you're feeling it. Again, if it's too much on the knees, come out. Deep breaths. Try and sink and allow yourself to feel that deep, mild discomfort, but deep in the hip. I'm shaking, I can feel that. Beautiful. Next, we're going to come on into Shavasana to begin the guided relaxation part. You've all earned it. So if you want to put a rolled up blanket underneath your spine, if you've got one with you, or you can bring one next time, just want you to feel comfortable. So Shavasana is generally like that, but if that's sore on your back, feel free to come into semi-supine and just keep your knees up. Otherwise, you're just going to lie in Shavasana, palms face the ceiling. You can feel free to close your eyes to help with relaxation. So I just want you to get used to, get settled in and begin to feel comfort. Well, deep breaths, just observing your breath, it's natural order. I want you to start to feel heavy. Your body starts to feel heavier. On the inhale, you feel your belly rise along with your ribs and then your chest in that order. And on the exhale, your chest falls, your ribs, then your belly. I want you to practice the order of that breath. So inhale, belly comes out, then the ribs rise and chest rise. Pause with those full lungs before slowly exhaling, feeling the chest and then the ribs and the belly fall and empty. So yogic breathing. The more you use your ribs and your diaphragm to bring that oxygen in with your breath, the more relaxation and calming of the central nervous system. Your fight-flight becomes more calm. Feel the weight of your heels and your feet in the mat. Notice the calves, backs of your legs and how they feel. You might feel your hamstrings a little bit, or your glutes, your pelvis. Feel the weight of your pelvis right now into the mat and have it sink in. Notice your shoulders, your upper back sinking into the mat. Relax your jaw, have a space between your teeth and relax your facial muscles. Notice how your head feels on the mat as it's slightly to one side. Relax your head. Feel your backs of your arms and your elbows and your hands. How have you placed your hands right now? Are they relaxed? Are they flat out? Are they face the sky? How does your left knee feel right now compared to the right knee? Notice your environment and what you can hear other than me. The sound of the birds, cars. How does this room smell? How's the temperature? I need to bring it back to the breath. Inhale, belly comes out, and the ribs and chest rise. Pause. A warm exhale. Slowly. A cool inhale. Every time your mind wanders onto something else, bring it back to the breath and the stages in which you should be breathing. It's not a big deal. The mind likes to thrust us forward into the future or back to the present, back to the past, and we need to be into the present. It's where we have control and calm. Feel how heavy your body's getting. Imagine it sinking into the floor. Relax your eyes and your facial muscles. With your thumb and index finger, you can bring in a little circle and touch them. Just nice and light circle. And on the rest of your fingers as well, touching all your fingers with your thumb as you rub them. Coming over to one side, using your knees, you can use your hands to come up into the seated position when you're ready for relaxation, pranayama. Sitting tall, shoulders down away from ears, forearms on the backs of the knees. You can come into a mudra if you like, or you can just hold your chest and your belly. On the inhale, you're pushing your belly out, feeling it rise along with your chest. And then slowly exhale as we settle into this position. Sitting tall, it can feel difficult at first and quite sore on the hips, but you do get used to it. Chest proud. Deep breaths. I'm going to take our right hand and with our thumb and index finger, you're going to completely close over the right nostril and empty your lungs through the left. Then inhale with the left nostril. Close the left nostril with your index finger and open the right with your thumb and breathe out. Inhale with the right. Close it over, sit tall. Exhale through the left. Again, continue. Inhale for a count of 4. Pause for the count of 2 as you swap over, then exhale for a count of 4. Your own count. Inhale. Keep sitting tall. Using the diaphragm, feeling it rise and fall the chest as you breathe with the belly as well. The whole thing's incorporated. Namaste. Thank you very much for coming this morning.